TouchLine, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to TouchLine. I am your host, Damien Best, and thanks for joining us for another episode. Wherever you are in the world, it's good night, good evening, and welcome indeed. Tonight, we discover who is at the top of the BFA Premier League after Super Sunday, another intriguing round of matches in the BFA Premier League. Of course, TouchLine sponsored by Dasani and Powerade. And we've got two special guests in studio with me. Of course, Mario Hart is here. He is a former national player and now the head coach of Paradise Football Club. Good evening to you, Mario.
Hey, good evening.
Thanks so much for joining us. And Robin Paris, he's back again. He couldn't get enough of the last episode and he's back with us. And good to share some of the ideas and look forward to what has been a fantastic season so far, very keenly contested. But we'll get into the highlights and all the analysis right after this commercial break. This is TouchLine.
TouchLine, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your
TouchLine, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Welcome back to TouchLine here on CBC TV8. We've got lots of highlights for you from a triple header at the BFA Technical Centre. Lots of action. Let's take a look.
Super Sunday at the BFA Technical Centre. The race for the title heating up. First match, UWI Blackbirds in the white and black versus Bagatelle. 46 minute, UWI attacking the Sergeant Village end. Bit of a goal line scramble for possession. The ball drops gently to Jadon McCullin. That's all it took. UWI on a winning streak. 3 in a row. Final score, UWI 1, Bagatelle 0. Second encounter, Paradise in their blue and yellow taking on Brittons Hill United. 3rd minute in, exquisite through ball from Shaquan Clark to Sharan Hoyt, who picks his spot, nutmegs the keeper. The Dover-based boys ahead. Quarter of an hour gone, Paradise losing the ball at the back, and it's squared to Stephen Pierre. Talk about composure to slot it home. 1-1 at half-time. Switch of ends for the second half. Brittons Hill with a corner. To Shane Lord with the final touch. Yup. Brittons Hill come from behind to lead 2-1. 73 minutes on the clock. Brittons Hill hunting a third. Not sure what happened here, but penalty awarded. Kurt Neil Franklin then stepped up. Somebody please check to see if there's a hole in the net. What a hit. That was struck with venom. Stoppage time now. Paradise still believing they could grab another one back. Jerome Otterson arriving and makes it 3-2. That's how it ended though. Brittons Hill inflict the first defeat on Paradise. And more Goodrich boys. CBC Sports.
There you have it, highlights from a Super Sunday. Let's get right into it. UWI Blackbirds first out of the gates. 3 wins in a row. Looking good. Robin, we're going to start with you. The Blackbirds were bottom of the table at one point, joining Wotton. But now they're creeping up the table. They're about midway and are doing very well. Things have changed, predominantly maybe the shape and the way they're attacking now. Good to see.
Yeah, clearly their approach has changed since the last couple of games. The first two games or so, they were bottom of the table, second last or something like that. But they've caught some rhythm, they've caught some form, and they've been getting positive results. That could only argue well for them going forward. I think they might be like mid-table or so. I know the points are fairly well bunched at this point.
Yeah, it's tight.
Not much separating, which is good for the football. So keeps Paradise and my friend Mario on their toes.
Indeed, Mario. Good win for UWI, but I'm sure you're watching all the teams and looking at all the footballs. Your analysis of what has changed in that UWI setup.
Well, first of all, UWI, they have two good coaches in Cracker Goddard and Fabian Messiah, so you can never count them out. And with the youth within the squad, once they listen, they know that they will get results. So it's no surprise to me, honestly. And
Bagatelle, the team, mixed fortune. Their first stint now in the Premier League, a bit rough in terms of the start.
Yes, Bagatelle, it's been rough for Bagatelle, but you can see the intent, and they believe by the second round, hopefully it's not too late with Norman Ford being their coach. I know he would want to bring a certain pattern of play to the game at that side. They could see it, they're trying, and they believe they'll get it together. Well, they join Watton in the bottom now, danger zone. They'll have to really improve heading forward because May is the cut-off point for this tournament, and you want to get some kind of rhythm as we reach the halfway stage. We're into round 7 already.
Yeah, correct. Round 7, and teams are trying to get their shape, keep their personality, their players together, keep their form, you know, and those things could only be positive going forward. As far as Watton is concerned, not sure what's going on there. Maybe they've lost some players, obviously, in the transfer market, but they haven't gained much. They've lost Dario King to Allerton. He was the mainstay of their attack, their defense, their shape, etc. So they have their work cut out, and it'll be interesting to see how they react to their defeats.
Mario, if you had to look at maybe going forward, what would you like to see change in the Bagatelle? You mentioned that you're seeing some positive things. What have you identified? For Bagatelle, I think in the attacking third, the attackers need to take the responsibility to take out the ball and run, not always look for the pass, you know, make something happen for the team. And they do have some level of talent. We saw them in the Prime Minister's Cup playing as well. Yeah, definitely. And the long throw from their captain, they definitely could capitalize on that. We had Norman Ford on the show. You know, life as a manager is very different than when you're playing. I mean, you say because you're trying to put forward the instructions in a way that, from a player's standpoint as well, how difficult is that transition for you? It is difficult because, you know, transitioning from a player at a certain level to coaching is certain things that you can see even before it happens, and you try to get it over to the players, and sometimes they may not see it because it doesn't happen as yet, and it's more of a case of it happening, then they're raising their hand and be like, oh, I understand now. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's too late. Definitely. So, victory to UWI Blackbirds. They are making their way through the table. Our second matchup on a Super Sunday was a key one. Paradise with a chance to lengthen the gap at the top of the table up against Brittons Hill. Resolute defense. Fabian Wharton and company showed in that encounter. We've got the man at the moment here. Mario, your assessment of this game. You took the lead with Sharon Hoyt back in the camp once more. But then it was all Brittons Hill for the most part. Well, to win championships, to win games, you have to score your chances. And after we took the lead, we had like 2 or 3 clear chances that if we had scored, I'm sure the game would have been dead. But that is not how football goes. And Brittons Hill, they persisted and they got back into the game. For me, disappointment would have been defensive errors. We will call schoolboy errors. But you'll learn from it. At the end of the day, we still top of the table, but if we want to go all the way, we have to improve. So we'll learn from this defeat for sure. And this is a well-built Paradise side. A lot of key players in there. They've got the joint top scorer now, and Sharon Hoyt back in the camp, as you mentioned before. Liam Luke was at the top for a moment on 5 goals. Sharon is up there with Inch in a split second. So definitely this team's still to beat. Yeah, correct. The team's still to beat. One of the favorites, as I said earlier, to win the competition. However, for me, watching them, they looked a bit flat at times. They were flat for whatever reason, and Brittons Hill tried to capitalize on that. Young Pierre on the right side, he was just you know, using a lot of that space, going down the road, going down the right side and squaring it into the area, causing a little bit of confusion. He's a little speedy. To Brittons Hill's credit, switching the ball from the left to right, him playing, you know, the old-fashioned way. The old right wing way. So he was good, and he's very, very, very speedy. Caused a little havoc within the Paradise camp.
and in the end, Brittons Hill won. So.
Well, Mario, you've got a big fixture next as well. We're not going to get back to this Brittons Hill, but
Wow.
you're going to play a kickstart rush next Tuesday from what I saw the schedule.
I think we have Ellerton first.
You have Ellerton first,
and
then kickstart. So you've got two big games.
Two big
Ellerton
games.
on the move, kickstart near the top of the summit.
Yeah.
Talk to me about those two key fixtures. What is the mindset you want to go into those fixtures with?
Well, honestly, we looking to end the first round with at least 20 points, which means we have to get a win. We're going after 2 wins, but if we can't get 2 wins, hopefully a win and a draw. But we want to be positive. We don't want to be knocked off too much by this defeat. As I said, the defeat yesterday, we'll learn from that, and we'll come again. We'll go again.
Well, I don't know if you want to read too much into it. What tactically did Brittons Hill do different that they got the better of you in this encounter per se?
I don't think it was too much tactically. I think they just scored the chances. You know, they did what was working for them, getting the ball over the top, not messing around with the ball, just being direct, and we didn't make the adjustment, unfortunately.
Any jitters for you defensively?
No, as I said, our approach is to defend as a team, so I can't really pick out individuals, although it was individual schoolboy errors, as I mentioned, but we'll fix that as a team.
Excellent. Good that you can rebound, take a loss early in the season and move along. Another key fixture as well, that Weymouth Wales nightcapper finished 0-0, and Mario would have been smiling on the sideline after his loss. He was thinking,
Smiling all night tonight.
did it just open the door for Wales?
Yeah.
But Wales, and of course this kickstart rush, this is a repeat of the Prime Minister's Cup final. We thought we would have had plenty of goals in this one, but both teams, some good defending in patches, and they missed a whole heap of chances at the back end as well.
Yeah, correct. For me, though, the start of the game, you could feel the tension. The atmosphere was charged, the lineups, how they warmed up, etc. And Wales started off typical Wales fashion. However, credit to Ronaldo Jones and his team. Obviously, they had a game plan, giving up much of their attacking half, dropping back in and playing that zone defense in between, allowing Wales to play it at the back, and shutting down different space and not giving them direct targets to their goal. Force them right, force them white and right. So in the end, I think they did well. Wales had their chances, no doubt about it. Akil Apawit, he was fantastic on the right side. Any left footer who's playing on the right side, beat left and cut in, square, shoot, etc. But for Wales, they missed too many chances. They had a lot of chances, and obviously something was missing. I'm not sure what it was, but that genuine striker, that number 10 or number 11, or Mario Hart was missing to score, to score the goals. And the thing is, teams go through that period where they doubt themselves, a dip in form, can't score a goal, you might give up an early chance, etc. Akeem Eiffel coming from the back, I was very impressed with him also. And at the back end too, I think Joshua Harvey, kickstart's goalkeeper, he did really well. For me, he's probably one of the better keepers I've seen for the season thus far, using his hands, throwing the ball, accuracy, etc., reading the game, 1 or 2 saves. So it was a build-up, it was a good game. Probably the best result, I was thinking a 1-1 would have separated 2 teams, but a love all draw, and I'm sure something to look forward to in the second round.
Good endorsement from a former national goalkeeper.
Yeah, for sure. And he's young. He's what, 20, 21, something like that.
Excellent. Mario, you would have smiling, as I mentioned before. This result kind of gives you a little bit of a breather to catch yourself once again and maybe go after extending that lead. Word on the street is that Wales are going to be going back to church on Sunday just to pray a little bit before their games, because they've had a tough patch. But Asquith Howell is away as well with the under-20 squad, from my understanding. So they're missing that in that technical area, that sort of voice there. But I'm sure that they have the talent. What did you see from that fixture?
It was an evenly contested game. As mentioned, Kickstart had their game plan. Wales at the moment going through a rough patch, but I believe at any moment they could pick it back up. They have the quality, and it only takes 1 or 2 players to raise their hand and really put the team on the back and get them going again.
You would have seen this side as well during the Prime Minister's Cup. You come into the Premier League, kind of almost the same group, very strong. They have basically two squads, you can look at it. Lots of attacking flair in there. How do you break them down?
It's hard to break them down, but for me personally, like, I just have to rely on my strengths and my team. This is paradise, you understand? Also for Wales, with the departure of Applewhite going overseas, a player, the farm that he was in and still is, he's like a player and a half, extra player and a half, you understand? If you look back at the Prime Minister Cup when UWI won, it was like UWI was playing with 12 and a half players because Nil was at the top of his game. So when you have players like that, it's hard to just replace them.
Yeah, talisman is always required. And I can see Sharon Hoyt, a key player. You have to make mention of him. He goes overseas, he comes back, and he just finding the back of the net consistently. He's on a mission.
Yeah, Sharon, it just comes natural for him, honestly, goal scoring. Hopefully that could spread throughout the team. And if he's off, someone else could pick up and we could keep going forward.
You think you can take the title this year?
That is the plan, honestly.
You heard it from the head coach of Paradise. He is pretty confident, reserved in his speech, but his team is doing really well. Top of the table in the Premier League. We're going to take a look at the table a little bit later on, but he is top of the table as we get ready for Tuesday's action as well. It's time to take a pause here. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the under-20 national team, and the Lady Tridents are going to be in action as well. This is Touchline.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solaray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Welcome back to Touchline here on CBC TV8. Robin Paris and Mario Hart in studio with us. Taking a look at now the under-20 squad. The boys team off to play in the under-20 qualifiers. We're going to take a look at the lineups for you, but this is a key fixture as well, as you can see on your screen. Mario, you know a lot about national duty, and some of these youngsters have a promising future.
They definitely do. As we saw with the under-17s, the gap is closing. If we could just get them some more international friendlies against tougher opponents, so that when they go into the competition, that they're a little bit more relaxed, you know.
And this under-20 tournament, this is coming fast and furious. You just had the under-17s into the under-20s.
Yes,
I mean, Robin, how do these guys prepare for the action?
Obviously, FIFA and CONCACAF have their set qualifiers, etc. So we know when we have to plan, you know, when the competitions are, the start dates, etc. So you build towards that. You have your out-of-season training, your in-the-season training, your friendlies, and the more they play together, you get that cohesion. It's good to see the under-17s playing a lot of football, though. Never mind the result, they did well. The under-19s now. And then they had an under-15 girls competition as well. So all the national teams, they've created that pathway for them. So that can only spell, you know, well for the development of the game and for the football and keeping them together. I know we played against Mexico, we got beat like 6-0 or 6-2, something like that. But Mexico is on a different level. Mexico have the university players, they're always training twice a week, etc. Twice a day, sorry, etc.
Right.
But we're getting to that stage. I mean, we got to keep working. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to create that culture, that development culture, and keep plowing away.
Right, Mario, you are a former women's coach as well, so you know this women's team quite well. They have named a squad for their fixture against El Salvador, who they'll be flying out to compete against. Talk to me about the composition of this team as well and their chances.
Well, from what I saw, I wasn't really following the training, but from what I saw, it looks a pretty experienced squad.
Shiana Burnett net back as well.
Yeah, that is good with that experience from the UK. That is very well. They're very good. So I think they'll do well. We play at El Salvador already, so we know the pace at which they play at. They're very fast team, a lot of sharp, speedy, especially from the wings. So I think with the experience from playing them before, I think they'll hold their own, honestly.
Yeah, you think they do pretty well, considering? Yeah, well, they lost against Trinidad and Tobago here at Kensington Oval, if you remember, on the same day as the Prime Minister's Cup final.
Yes.
Heavy defeat there, but I hope that they can bounce back. It's time for us to look at our goal of the week, all brought to you by Powerade and Dasani.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power. Second encounter, Paradise in their blue and yellow taking on Brittons Hill United. 3rd minute in, exquisite through ball from Shaquan Clark to Sharon Hoyt, who picks his spot, nutmegs the keeper. The Dover-based boys ahead. Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Yeah, the lethal Sharon Hoyt there, our goal of the week. Excellent to see him come back and really play his part in Paradise success thus far. Taking a look now at the points table, folks, it is going to be a very, very keen contest down the road. You can see Paradise at the top on 16. They're closely followed by Kickstart Rush on 15. And Ellerton, Brittons Hill and Weymouth Wales closely bunched there. Ellerton on 13, Brittons Hill on 13 as well. Wales on 12. Very, very tight in the middle. Talk to me about that, Mario. You need some breathing room.
Yes, we definitely need some breathing rooms. But it's good for the overall competition, you know. I think it would get fans out because it's not like a straightforward, you know, this person is going to win. So that argues well for the league. But in terms of Paradise, we'll be hoping to get some distance going into the end of the first round.
And we've got a couple of matchups tomorrow as well. St. Andrew Lions going to be in action. They have, from all accounts, going to need a new coach. Kenroy Skinner not there as well.
Wow.
So these fixtures are going to be very intriguing.
It's going to be crazy. And the thing is, they need to get their composure and their discipline and their strength going from early. If they're to avoid regulation. Obviously, they're in the bottom, along with the Bagatelle, so they need to get some points going. But for me, the sticking point for me, looking at the standings, is Brittons Hill Ellerton with a point with the game in hand, and still third in the reckoning. So that's very interesting to see. They've played 6 points in 13. They played 6 games, 13 points. Yeah. Paradise have 7 and 16, so still close.
Very, very close.
15. Then it's still Wales at the 5th or something like that. So it's going to be interesting. All to play for. Just got to keep plowing away.
Yeah, definitely. So 7 o'clock tomorrow night, as well as 9. Make your way to the BFA Technical Centre in Wilde to catch all the action. We've come to the end of the show tonight. I want to thank so much to Mario Hart, the coach of Paradise Football Club, and also our esteemed guest here. He's not having Batman with him, but he's Robin Paris. He's a great analyst and the former national goalkeeper as well. This has been a pleasure for us, the technical team, to bring this together. And thanks so much to our sponsors, Powerade and Dasani, our technical team, and of course my producer tonight, Margaret Rich-Boyce. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Damien Best saying goodbye, good night, and see you again.